very important work. I want to introduce you to Antoine.
Antoine.
See, I told that. Antoine Williams. He is a gentleman who is actually a line worker who is working with a company called Linesman. You got some more Linesman folks here?
Yeah.
All right, got 1, 2, a couple of them had to leave earlier. But this is our part where we try to pull somebody out of the community that's doing some things that a lot of people don't even really think about and humanize their profession, because you need to know these are real people behind what they do. Sometimes we get upset when the power goes out. How many power went out last week? A couple of years ago, power went out, I think it was last year? Yeah. Out for a week.
Yeah, April.
And you get upset when that happens. But there's a process and there's a reason and rationale behind the restoration. And we don't want to talk about that, but we want to talk about who are the people actually willing to risk their lives to go up there and restore your power. Yeah, they're getting a paycheck, but at the end of the day, they're still them risking their lives to do something that is very, very important to all of us. We don't think about the power until it goes out. We don't think about it until the bill comes. But this gentleman has to think about it every day. And so again, if you can give a D1 welcome and applause for Mr. Antoine Williams.
How y'all doing?
So, Mr. Williams, talk to us about what led you to this profession. I don't know if you mind giving your age. You look like a young man.
I'll be 36 in a couple months.
All right.
So.
What's a baby?
Yeah.
You got family?
Yep, 2 kids, wife.
Makes it even more important for you to be safe.
Oh yeah.
Right, so talk, how did you get into this profession?
Actually, I'm an IBEW member. Local 17, union worker, and I was in the hall for 5 years, and somebody came to me and said, "Why don't you try line work?" Like he said, I didn't know nothing about it, and I was in the hall. "Why don't you try?" I said, "I don't mess with no electricity. I don't know about that." But I end up applying for it. You do a 3.5-year apprenticeship. I actually finished my apprenticeship early. And I've been loving it ever since. You know, it's a great career where people that didn't go, well, I went to school, but that didn't get into my field what I got my degree in, I'm still making a good living to provide for my family with great benefits, and it's going good.
So tell us about the first time that you went up the pole or tree. What was that feeling like? What was that inside of you? How did you feel?
I was nervous.
Okay.
You got to learn to trust your equipment. You know, all you got on is your belt and your hooks. That's it. So you got to learn to trust your equipment and learn that positioning and learning how to climb. Period. Because your legs and that gaff will cut out on you sometimes, and then you falling.
So none of this is electric charge right now?
No.
So we pick it up, so we're going to get some of that. I got to ask first.
This is,
Afraid of heights?
can't be afraid of heights. It's probably about 50, 60 pounds.
Wow.
So this is our belt. This is your basic tools that you're going up with. And these are what we call our hooks. You know, this is what we climb up on the pole with. So all you got is this in the pole, in your belt.
And faith.
And that's it. and a lot of training. A lot of training, right. You know, and you know, it took me a minute to rely on this without being nervous.
Right. But so do you have a partner going up with you? Are you just solo your first time out?
No, you always have what we call a pole partner. You go 2-man on a pole, no matter what, working it out. First thing always is safety. You have to be safe and get the job done in an efficient amount of time.
So right before I left home, my wires were arcing behind my house, so I need to.
Yeah, you make. Yeah.
I called already, so I haven't got the call back, so I might have to pull a favor.
Oh.
And you know, that's why I was a little late getting here. You know, I played basketball with my nephews, and this is a little, injury that I endured. But I know that the dangers that you have encountered has also led you've had a couple of experiences as well.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us about some of those potentially life
Yeah.
experiences?
I just got back home like 2 months ago. I was down in the Virgin Islands restoring power. Me and my line partner in the back, we was down there for 6 months helping them restore their power. And this is the blessing that this career has given me, this opportunity to travel and see other places like this and help other people in other areas where we think here is bad. They got their system and everything is way worse than ours. So yeah, it's terrible. But I was there and I was going back on somebody else's job, buttoning stuff up, making sure everything was correct. And I noticed that there was a ground wire on the pole that was not all the way tightened down. So I went down to tighten it and it slipped out of the clamp that tightens it down, and I became the fuse between that wire on the pole and the ground. So I got electrocuted, I got a little skin here, little burns in the hand, and I had to take my shirt off, my boots off, because when electricity goes through you, could be potentially an exit wound. So I had to check and make sure it wasn't an exit wound, you know. So it was an experience, a terrible experience.
So how do you get back after that? I mean, that is enough for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Jump back into doing it. And how long did it take?
I actually finished out the day. I finished out the day of work, and I kept going, but
Never took a day off.
I never took a day off. 6 months, 7 days, 12-hour shifts. I never took a day off, but
Bless your wife.
but that experience was not just a life-threatening experience. It helped me as well, that you can't always rely on what somebody else did thinking they did it right. Check everything from the top to bottom before you jump into something, because it was something simple. It was a simple, let me button it up and that's it. But they missed putting a grounding a connection to the neutral. So that when that came off, that came full 13,000 volts.
So what was that phone call like to your family? No, you didn't tell them that?
I didn't tell her nothing till I came back.
It's being recorded on Facebook.
She know, but I didn't tell her nothing till I came back. Because if I'd have called and told her that, you need to get you on a flight back to Detroit. Yeah, you need to go ahead and come on back home. But it worked out though.
So what are some of the things that folks should know when it comes to down wires and things like that? You know, we already know about if it's down, don't touch it. We know that, right?
Right.
We know that, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do we know the difference between a cable line and a DTE power line? Do we know the difference? Okay. So let's talk. Give them some information.
And a lot of people don't. So my suggestion is call.
When in doubt.
No matter what, call. If it's down, you don't know if it's cable or you don't know if it's DTE, call. You know, we can easily come out and cut it down if it is cable or it's just a cable line. We done been on plenty of them calls. But I'd rather have that than have the situations with, you know, the younger lady that passed going to, you know, raking. She was in her backyard just raking. The little girl that passed going and playing and touching on it. So I'd rather have that call for something simple as a cable line than a call of somebody passing. So.
And how dangerous, one of the things that we have in the city, as you know, these tree limbs are either touching or getting very close to the power line. So talk to us a little bit about what the danger of that, for one. And I don't know if you're the right person, maybe we should talk to somebody a little higher up the food chain, but what can people do?
Well,
if it's not technically their responsibility?
Call them. That's my suggestion. Call DTE, tell them it's an emergency. You got wires sparking and barking, and it's because of the trees is pushing it up. Even with jobs that I go out to, And every lineman, I'm pretty sure does this when it's something that's a tree limb on the lines, hey, we need to get a tree crew out here, you know, because we're not entitled to cut it. We have other crews for that. We have tree crews for that. But give them a call. You know, I know it's frustrating because I get frustrated sometimes with them when I come back and they like, oh, this been like this for 3 years. And I know because I done been here within them 3 years and I don't know why they ain't came out yet. You know, but it's a shortage on the tree trimmer, so just give them a call, give them a chance to come out and take care of it.
So then we have some questions. Aaron, microphone, and another mic out here for me. Just want to give you a chance. We have a number of folks who want to ask you to say something.
I just wanted to ask, I think I understand if the tree's on your property, it's your responsibility. So isn't it the responsibility of the resident to make sure that they don't let all these junk trees grow on the back of the property?
Yeah.
And interfere with the lines?
Yeah, if it is your responsibility as the resident, but once it gets within, I believe, 4 or 5 feet, 3 feet.
3 on each side.
3 feet on each side of the power lines. Once it gets, then it's Edison's responsibility to come and cut that up.
I just see so many people just letting these trees go. They can
Yeah.
come out when they're weeds and they let them go and they're doing a lot of damage and bringing down their lines and inconveniencing all of us, so.
And see, and I also thought that because you have 2 lines coming from your house to the power source, one up top,
Yeah.
and then you have the top, and then you have the secondary line.
Correct. You got your
My
primary.
understanding that the secondary was the responsibility of the homeowner, but the primary is the responsibility.
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Correct. Yeah, educated.
No, it's your primary lines are at the top. You know, those are the ones that have your 4,800 volts, and then your secondary lines is where your service coming from your house goes to. So no matter what, if it's in that area, that 3 feet range, secondary or primary, that's called DTE. That's DTE's responsibility. Now they'll cut it back depending on the tree crew you get. They'll cut it back a little further, but long as it's within that 3 feet, call and they'll come in, and it's Edison's responsibility.
Okay, what about the situation where the tree is in the yard of a vacant house? And the house has been vacant because it's on the demolish list, but it doesn't have a demolished date. So the trees in the backyard are just all over the wires.
Right.
What do you do when you live next door to it and those wires come right across the back of your yard? The trees, I mean, it's
You can
not
still
on
call.
property.
Still call and let them know that, you know, it's a vacant house. The trees are overgrowing. It's through the lines, it's pushing stuff up, you know, and it's messing up my power. So
Well, the response that I got was that you need to contact whoever owns the house. There is an owner for the house. A corporation bought the house in 2014, but no one's been to the house. No one's, since their last tenants moved out a year ago. There's no one in the house. The garage is falling in my yard, and the wires are being
Pushed
imposed
down.
on by the trees. So I'm like, you're telling me to contact the owners. I can't contact the owners, even though I know who the company is that bought it. I see the name, but why do I have to contact them?
and that's DTE telling you that?
Yes.
I'm not sure about that then. I
So
don't-
so this is the thing I always tell folks: do not hesitate to call us either, because we have a phone number with the government relations individual who typically responds to us and gives us an idea. Certainly, sometimes things that you all don't necessarily know because they want to keep a relationship with. So maybe it's DTE, maybe it's some other entity as well. But never hesitate to call us, whether it's about your issue or dumping. Please keep your council member aware of what's going on, because we can't really do anything unless we know.
No.
And we can help push this stuff a little further. Sometimes you may get caught up in folks who are doing things by the book, but you need help now. They're just going by the book. So we sometimes are able to kind of get stuff moving a little bit further. And also Department of Neighborhoods as well. Because she's here. Can't hear you yet over the microphone. Microphone, wait to the microphone. All right.
If you have the address, give it to me after the meeting, and then we can get B-Seed out there, because if they have a blighted backyard and they accumulated a lot of tickets, then the house can get taken away from them.
Well, they haven't
about
been
another
blighted
10,
or
15.
any, I mean, there's no
They haven't
tickets,
got-
no one
I know.
has come and put anything on.
So you gonna call?
Yeah.
All right, so who are you first? Folks know
I'm
who you are.
Rakaya Abdullah. I work with the Department of Neighborhoods in District 1 with Patrice and Stephanie. So we deal with a lot of blight in neighborhoods.
What's a good number for you? So folks who are writing stuff down? Or
I don't have a phone, but I can get you Patrice's phone number.
All right, we'll take that.
Stephanie's on medical leave right now. So the number to call will be 313-236-3484. Patrice McClendon. And then our office number is 313-224-2586.
How often are you in the office? So being
It's
honest.
very infrequently,
Okay.
so please call ahead. If you don't pick up, please don't come, but call the cell phone, that's on the trees at all times, so.
Thank you.
Oh, also, if you are a part of any community group, we're really trying to get people to use Improve Detroit, which is on smartphones. And it's one of the best way to get in contact with departments. And you're able to take a picture of the backyard and send it in to
Yes.
forestry or, I don't know, DT is one of the options, but to the respective departments, so yeah.
And now, would I contact you as well about the
Yes,
garage?
yes,
Because
yes, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
It's
Yes.
creating
Yes,
a
ma'am.
hazard now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So I think we had a question over here.
Oh, yeah, I had a question.
All right, here's Mike. There it is.
I just had a question about the tree, they cut the branches, but now it's vines growing through there, and it's holding down the line. Like the line coming from my house to the pole, it's beginning to, it's almost reachable.
The
Yes,
service is low.
so
So
it's
who-
getting kind of low. Who do I call?
With that would still be DT. So you have vines on your service going to your house,
Yeah, from the house to the pole.
to the pole.
The next door, they have a tree, and the vines are coming through their tree, but it's catching hold into the line. It's headed down towards the house.
And it's weighing it down.
Yes, it's weighing it down, because if I can't jump, but if I could,
Right.
I could jump up and.
No, don't do that.
Yeah.
That's how close the line is.
Right, I get. Yeah, you would still call DT for that,
Okay.
because
So
anything from that line from your house, anything going towards the pole is still our responsibility.
Okay.
Any vegetation at all?
Yeah.
I got one over here. I think that'll be the last one done. Behind you.
You said there's a shortage of tree trimmers?
Shortage of tree trimmers and shortage of linemen.
DPW ends up reporting a lot of stuff through C-Click Fence, and I will say up front that we've had really, really good luck with it, so it is genuinely worth doing. But there are some tricks that are worth knowing. One is that you can call the trees, but what we do is that absolutely everything we put into C-Click Fence, there's a little way to get a link. It'll say share, and I text every single one of those to the trees. And I also do follow-up, so you'll see pretty regularly, this department or that department kind of gets under the gun, they have too many things, and they'll go through and close a bunch of stuff that they really shouldn't. And if you catch one of those, specifically send those to the trees, because that gives her an opportunity, or you can also send it to the councilman, but that gives them an opportunity to say, hey, you're not doing your job, this is unacceptable. Because you will occasionally see, you filed a report and they said, oh, that's totally fixed. We see this a lot with water in the winter, a pipe will crack and we'll report it, the water company will come out and turn off the water on the house next door. Goofy stuff like that. So keep an eye on your reports, and if they go sideways, specifically raise those ones with the trees to give her an opportunity to really crack down on the people who aren't doing their job right. And that's the best way to sort of close the loop when you see these sort of things that aren't working the way they're supposed to.
So again, that's neighborly information provided. They may not give you that information down at the training, but that's enabling information on practicality and how it actually will work. We'll go, Diane, we gotta go from there. I promise you. We got a lot of folks that still have permission. So
Well, it's anonymous, that's all I want to say,
Oh,
it's anonymous.
it is anonymous. If you want to put your information, you can as well.
Yeah, and then you can get a follow-up email.
Yeah.
Yep. So before you get out of here, Ms. Williams, because I know you got to run and take care of some other business. What's next for you? You've been doing this for how long now, Linesman?
I've been in the trade for 6 years.
So what's next?
Keep learning. You just never stop learning doing line work. So I'm gonna keep learning and progress. And right now I'm a foreman, so go up to be into whatever the next step is. And to go back to the young lady's issue she had with the alleys, I'm in the process now to start my own, trying to get a contract with the city to clean the alleys, because not only does it help the community, but it benefits us as linemen too, to be able to get back there. It makes it that much safer for us if we can get a truck to it instead of that having to climb it. So I'm in the process of that and talking to who I need to talk to in the city to get my foot in the door to start cleaning those alleys up. You know, because it's terrible. We got to walk through them. We dealing with them too. And I don't like going through them. So I know nobody like it being in the back of their house. So.
I think we got one of your linemen, your partner.
One more time, everybody. We love everybody, but could y'all please, when the Edison guys or the contractor guys come, just kind of look out for them. You know what I'm saying? I done got robbed twice out here.
Right.
We done got robbed together.
Yeah.
We trying to keep our lives.
I always
Taking
got
our
my gun
pockets.
out.
And just when we do come out, just kind of
Come on up front. Come on up front. They need to see you, because you just said something real important.
Yes.
and courteous. You know, everybody want their power on. It's hot. We all know that. But the first thing people jump out their car and say, "When you gonna get the power on? How long is it gonna take?" Like we just pulled.
Everything is a process.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a process.
We got to check everything, make sure everything is straight, make sure everything is safe before we go to the next step and the next step after that. So we just ask that everybody just be patient. When we get there, we're going to get it done, but it's also a process, you know. And if we got to watch out for our back and ask questions and do the job, it's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough, you know. But we love everybody. Everybody our cousins. You know what I'm saying? We got some good cousins and some bad ones. But, you know what I'm saying? We all out here trying to help each other and make it safe and keep everybody cool in the summertime. Yeah. Okay, that's all I wanted to add.
No, you got anything you want to add before we wrap up? I mean, you as well.
I have a concern.
A concern regarding this?
No.
That's what I'm saying, ma'am. It's gonna happen. We're here till 1. Yes, ma'am. That's okay. We're gonna be here. Anything else before you want to wrap up? Anything you want to tell folks, Mr. Williams?
No, I mean, he pretty much said it. You know, just like he said, we both done been robbed together. So it's kind of tough to concentrate on this voltage when the same person will walk past 3 times. So now you watching your back and you trying to concentrate on work. But you know, some situations it is what it is, but you just keep it moving.
We wish you the best. We will do everything. We pray for you. We're going to watch out for you as well. And we thank you for coming and sharing this information, because again, it's not just about complaints and concerns. It's about making sure that we take care of our friends and family and our neighbors. Detroit born and raised as well.
Right down the street.
Right down
Appleton.
the street. So these are not just line workers. These are folks who are part of our community and do something very important, very dangerous. So y'all give it up another D1 round of applause for Mr. Williams. And what's the father's name?
Tyrone Vines.
And Mr. Vaughn.
Vines. Vines.
Thank you.